Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Mina and I make videos every Wednesdays and every Fridays, and today's video is going to be a video that I needed to make, that I've been meaning to make, but I haven't made because I don't know what to say. If you are unaware of what's going on in the world right now, George Floyd, a innocent African-American man, was murdered by a cop. He had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 49 seconds, I believe, and he died. And honestly, we need to address it. We cannot be silent. Silence equals violence, equals tolerance to police brutality. We cannot have that happen. Ever since that day, I'm sure you guys are aware, there's been protests and petitions to sign and places to donate for the bail funds, or I believe most of the funeral costs were covered and the funds were being moved and redirected to different funds that need money right now, including the Minnesota Bail Fund and Freedom Fund. Basically, it's to help people who get arrested while doing the protests. So I know I haven't been vocal about it on YouTube, but I have been vocal about it on all my other platforms. I have been vocal about it on Twitter. I will put my socials down below for you guys to see if you haven't been following along. I have been vocal on Twitter, I have been vocal on Instagram, I have been vocal everywhere else that I can be, because we have to be vocal about this if we want change and if we want real change. I am not white, obviously, I am Arab, but I still experience privilege because I am, like, my skin is not dark. I'm light skinned. I'm light skinned. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm light skinned, and so I am easily passable for white. So I have the privilege of learning about racism from a personal from a personal point of view. I experienced racism myself, but not nearly as much as African Americans and Black people are experiencing in this world. And so I am, in that sense, very privileged to learn about it than to experience it myself. This is why I didn't want to make a video, because I don't even know what to say. The way that George Floyd was murdered is not okay. Definitely not okay, not in any sense. That it is brutal and it's cruel and it's horrible. I just wanted to make a quick video to actually address this, because I don't want to just upload a weird video or a random video or favorites without acknowledging what's going on in the world right now. And I wanted to upload this on Friday when I usually upload my videos, but it didn't happen. If you have been silent, please don't be silent, because silence equals violence. You need to speak up, you need to say something, you need to be vocal about this, you need to stand on the right side of history. We are in the middle of a revolution right now, and I am more than happy to be able to be on the right side of history. If you are able to, please sign. I mean, honestly, sign any petitions you find, because these petitions are so easy to sign. It takes like 20 seconds to sign. It doesn't take long at all. Sign the petitions, donate if you can to the bail funds, whether it be in your state or outside of your state. Vote if you are in a state that has primaries happening right now. Please vote. It is necessary. We need to vote him out of office. We have to if we want change. So vote if you can. If you can't, then sign petitions, spread the word. You have to spread the word. We have to be vocal about this. It's not dying down. I know it looks like it's dying down and the protests are no longer around, but I promise you they are. They're just not getting coverage because people want you to think, the government wants you to think that this is dying down. It's not dying down. It's not slowing down. There are still protests you can go to. I do understand if some of you cannot go to protests. I wholeheartedly understand. There are people who their parents won't let them, or they're just too scared, which makes sense. It is a scary time, but it's also a time where you have to stand up for what you believe in. Police brutality is wrong. It has been wrong. It will always be wrong. We need to do something about this. We need reform. We need to speak up about this. They have opened up Breonna Taylor's case, I believe, which is incredible. I mean, honestly, these days of protests have done so much more than we have ever thought that could happen. I have been signing petitions. I will link everything down below, all the resources. I will link the petitions you will need to sign if you haven't signed already. Okay. I will link all the petitions that I can find down below for you to sign if you haven't already, or donate links. I will link them down below as well. I will link books and movies that are very informational and educational to racism and just the whole culture of it. I will link that down below as well. I have been donating. I have been signing petitions. I went to a protest. It was very peaceful. Do not let the media scare you into thinking that these protests are riots and violent and scary. They can be scary. They can be violent. They can be like these police. It's not peaceful to the point where the police are, like what you see on TV is happening. Like the police are spraying these peaceful protesters with tear gas. And I live in Ohio, and one of the students of Ohio State University was tear gassed, and she died actually. She was 22 years old. She had just graduated from Ohio State University, and she died because she was at the protest. It is wrong. It is horrible, but she died for what she believes in, and I will do the same if it takes dying to do something about this. This is a system that has let down people of color for years, even like decades. Dude, it has let down people of color many a time. So this is not just about George Floyd. It is not just about George Floyd. Do not get it twisted to where just because the officer's charge was bumped up does not mean this is over. It's not over. It won't be over until there is reform in place. There is change, and change that will last. Yeah, we have to do our part. We have to do our part. We cannot stay silent. It's not time to be silent. And if you are a racist, and if you say that all lives matter and blue lives matter, it's probably best for you to shut up and unfollow me, because that's not what I believe. It'll never be what I believe, and what you believe is wrong. It's not all lives matter. That's not a thing. And please, if you are just posting black squares on Instagram, don't do that. Just don't just perform that you're an activist. Be actually a part of the movement. The Black Lives Matter movement is important, and it's there for a reason, and it's because this is a system that has let down people of color for multiple decades. And the protests are working, and they are getting us what we want, but they are not over. They are far from over. There's so much I want to say, but I can't think of the words that I actually want to say. Just know that there's so much you can do. It's not just about going to protests, and it's not just about posting a black square on Instagram, and it's not just about signing petitions. There is a YouTube video that you can watch, and all the AdSense from it go to the Black Lives Matter movement. I will link that down below as well. This is not a moment, you guys. This is a revolution. This is a movement. It's a thing, and it's there for a reason. This is, if you don't know about systematic racism, please learn about it. Educate yourself. It is not it's not people of color's job to educate you. You do the work. You do the education for yourself. Educate yourself. If you have questions, that's okay. You can ask, but it's not their job to teach you, especially not at a time like this. They are going through so much as a community, and all we can do is be allies, and you can be an ally not just by posting a square on Instagram. You can do that, but also do other things that are important and that will actually help the cause, like signing the petitions, donating if you can, going to protests if you can. If you can't, it's obviously understandable, but don't just let it die down. I personally will post, I post about it every single day on my Instagram because I don't want it to die down. I'm not going to let it die down. And I will keep posting about it until it's necessary. I post something about Black Lives Matter every single day, and if that's what it takes to spread awareness and show that it's not dead and we cannot let it die down, then that's what I will do, and that's what you should do as well. Don't let this be something that we will move on from. It's not something that we can move on from. This is something that needs to change. It's something that is necessary for it to change, for us to stop letting people of color down. Honestly, they have gone through so much, and this is not just George Floyd, and it's not just one single case where one person was wronged by the police force and by the police brutality. Many people have been, innocent people of color have been murdered and killed and mistreated by a system that has not changed at all. And if now is the time for it to change, it is time for it to change now. We are not quiet. We are a generation of change. We are the generation that will make the change happen if we don't let it die down, and we don't let the media let us think that this has died down, because it definitely has not. Do your part, take part of it, educate yourself when necessary, actually learn about this movement and why it matters so much. This video has been all over the place, but really my thoughts about this are all over the place. I do apologize for the people of color from the bottom of my heart for everything that they're going through, and for everything that they will probably still go through, because they just have always suffered by a system that has let them down, and nobody has ever done anything to change it. So we need to stand with them now, apologize to them. I apologize wholeheartedly from my whole heart for everything that they have gone through and everything that has happened to their community that has torn them apart, and nobody has done anything to help them. I apologize for being ignorant at times when I was younger. I apologize for not knowing the struggles until I educated myself. So I apologize for also them having to teach everybody else why racism exists and why it's a thing, because it's very much prevalent. It's here, and it's not even hidden. Like, truly, as an Arab, I experienced racism, and it's so open. And not to make this about me, but if I experience it and I am white passing, then people of darker skin probably experience it way, way more than I do. And yeah, I apologize to the Black community. I will do my best to stand as an ally and know my place. And it is not for us to say when this is over. It's for them to get what they deserve. It's for them to finally fight for something that has let them down for years. And if it takes a riot and a revolution for us to do, then that is what we will make happen, because we have let them down, and way more than enough. We have let them down way too much, honestly. It's time we stand with them and be an ally in all the right ways by signing. I keep repeating this because people think it's so hard to be an ally. It's not hard to be an ally. Just sign the petitions, donate when you can, take part of the protest. If you can't take part of the protest, like, just put a sign in your car, like put a Black Lives Matter sign. It doesn't matter. If you can't do that, I understand. Just because I am able to do that much doesn't mean you are able to do that much, and that makes sense. But just do your part. Know that there are so much more to what you think you can do. Like, watch the video with the AdSense that the money goes to the Black Lives Matter movement. Educate yourself. Watch the movies that I will link down below. Read the books that are down below. Request transparency from book outlets, from makeup brands, from big corporations. Like, make sure we know that this change is lasting, and it's not just for the Black Lives Matter movement, because it's not just like a moment in time where you can pretend to be an activist and then after it's over, you just go back to your ways. That's not how this works. You have to be diligent about this change. We have to be, for it to last forever, and for us to stop letting these people down, because we have done that too much now at this point, I think. And I think at this rate, I have gotten my point across. Links will be down below. If I make any AdSense off of this video, which I don't monetize my videos because I'm not eligible to, but if I do, I will also donate that to the Black Lives Matter movement, and the Beale funds as well. And yeah, just do your part. We have to do our part. We have to, for this to work. And I know that my audience are smart people that know to stand with the right side of history, and that why this is so important, and why we can't let it die down, and why we just all have to do our part for this to work. So yeah, there are so many thoughts that I want to say that I'm not able to communicate right now because my brain is just fried from work. Just know I stand with you. Black Lives Matter forever. They have always mattered, and they will always matter. Justice for George Floyd, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for all the people that have been let down by a system that is made against them. And I hope we see change that lasts forever and be on the right side of history when it does happen. yeah, I stand with you. I know I will never understand, but I stand with you. I stand with you, and I stand with all my heart, and I will do my part. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Regularly scheduled videos will probably be up next week on Friday, but just know I'm doing my part. I'm trying my best to. Just because I'm not vocal on YouTube does not mean I'm not vocal on every other platform. So yeah, I don't want to just go back to my regular videos without addressing what's happening right now, because it's very important, and if you have a voice, you should use it. And I think I've spoken way too long at this point. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and Black Lives Matter, guys. Black Lives Matter.